So, welcome, day 14, meditating today for 18 minutes. So, that's the end of our second week. This is the completion of our second week. We're just, I guess, one day off of halfway through. So, well done for, I would say that first half is going to have been more of a challenge than the second half. Now it's become kind of a regular routine for you, and your brain's already changing structure. So the second half is kind of a bit more smooth sailing, I'd say. And if it's not, in patches, if it's not, that's okay. That's okay. So something we've already been doing, but I just wanted to highlight because it's a really powerful practice, is what do I want to say? Observing, being mindful, or I'm going to use the word witnessing. A friend of mine in America introduced me to it good few years ago now, and it's a really, really powerful practice to have in your toolkit. So we're already doing it when we finish our meditation. We sit for however long we need, and we just observe through the body. And it's this idea of non-judgmentally witnessing, observing, with no real agenda for what does or doesn't happen as a result. And you'll see if you practice it, it just dissolves pretty much anything. If you like things a little more esoteric, then you could say it's the light of your awareness dissolving the darkness within us. And darkness just means a place we haven't looked. So we observe the inside of the body. We notice what physically we're feeling, what we're feeling emotionally, what we're thoughts are going on. Thoughts can be, for some people, a little trickier at the beginning. Emotions can be, for others, a little trickier to observe. But the physical body, for most people, is really easy to connect to. And it's just simply placing your attention in there, and nothing more complicated than that. The real power in it is that you can't be observing something non-judgmentally and holding it at bay at the same time. If you're looking at it in a non-judgmental way, with no agenda for what should or shouldn't be happening, then by implication you've already accepted it. It's okay as it is. You're not trying to change it. You're purely just interested in it, and as a result, you can't hold it at bay at the same time. And it's that non-resistance to whatever's happening mentally, emotionally, physically, that allows everything to dissolve. And so then the same friend that introduced me to witnessing, he said that potentially all, but certainly 95% of our pain in life, our suffering, is a kind of a loaded word, suffering, or an intense word to use this early in the day. Our suffering is at least 95% created by our resistance to things being just as they are. So I want to encourage you, now that you have more awareness, as you meditate, you get more awareness. You might now be becoming aware of things in your life that you previously weren't aware of. So as those things come into your awareness, and as you have more awareness about your day, next time you feel, let's say emotionally, next time you feel emotionally upset by that thing, I want to encourage you to have a look inside your body and see where are you resisting the fact that things are the way they are physically. So there'll be some tension somewhere, and this is where yoga is beautiful, and Tai Chi and so on. There'll be some physical tension somewhere, and I want to encourage you, just as an experiment, just give that tension your full attention, and no agenda. You're not giving your attention, hurrying that thing up to dissolve and go away. Just purely observing, witnessing, just curious about that tension wherever you might find it. and see what happens. And then as you meditate more, that witness part of you, that observer part of you, becomes more and more prominent, becomes more and more a companion, so that whatever situation you find yourself in, it's always kind of there with you, or it's very easy to call on it. And then we get less and less reactive emotionally over time, because we feel our reactions and we can witness the rising emotion in us. And so we don't buy into that. Yeah, so maybe have a go at that. If that sounds like something you want to try, have a go at witnessing what's going on in your body, particularly in those times where you feel a bit emotionally upset. Okay, let us come to meditate then. So first, our body scan. Remember, you can be sitting down for this or lying for this. Doesn't matter, either is fine. Preferable is sitting, but it's not essential. We take a few deeper breaths. And we begin to notice the inside of the body, the feet and the toes, the ankles and the shins and the calves. The knees. And the thighs. And the buttocks. The sit bones if you're seated. The hip joints. The pelvic floor, from pubic bone to tailbone, the whole of the pelvic floor. And the whole of the lower abdomen, from the belly button down to the sit bones. And then the belly button up to the diaphragm, the upper abdomen. We're including the front and the back and the sides of the torso as we go. And the whole of the rib cage. The front, the back, the sides, the tops of the shoulders. The whole of the rib cage, upper and lower. The armpits and the full length of both arms. Down into the hands and fingers. And come back up to the shoulder joints, tops of the shoulders, the neck, the back, the front, and the sides of the neck. And then the whole of the head, the back, the sides, the top, and the face. And then wave the awareness down the body. Let that awareness work all the way down to the feet, including the areas I may have missed off, or any particular areas you want to spend a little more time with. And then we begin Once we get there, if you're still working with that, that's fine. Once we get there, we work a little more with once we get there, we start to use our mantra, our phrase, our word. We silently repeat that word over and over, that phrase, that word. Keep repeating it inside the head. Remember that idea of the brook, of the stream, the sound of the mind, the noise it makes, or the pictures it creates. They're just fleeting images, or the sound of a stream in the background. It's just content and it flows on by. Sometimes it's louder, more images being created, more voice in the head. Sometimes it's quieter. It doesn't matter. We just keep returning our attention, gently returning our attention to our focus, to our mantra, to our word, to our phrase. So 18 minutes, officially then starting now. Okay, 18 minutes. So now we witness. This is the practice. This is the tool, the skill that I want to encourage you to empower yourself with. Non-judgmental observation, curious, non-judgmental observation. Watching, looking inside the body. If you become aware of emotions, you could observe them and their physical counterpart as well. If you're aware of your thoughts, you can simply observe them as well. Just watching them going by. Just simply watch. We observe, we witness. This experience then is something that we can carry over into our daily lives. Anytime we need it, if you need to take a break in the day, you can always have a witnessing break, so to speak. And you can stay observing, witnessing like this for as long as you like. If you want to, you can move to focus. Imagine your experience that you want to have. And spend as long with that as you wish. And when you're ready to, which might not be yet, but when you're ready to, you deepen the breathing, or you can deepen the breathing. You can move the body a little. Breathe a little deeper. Start to bring yourself back. Come back and stretch. Maybe yawn. Move the body, awaken the senses. Congratulations, well done. So we're at just one more meditation of getting to our 20-minute maximum, really. So again, well done. First 2 weeks, probably the most challenging. Gets easier from here. And I'll, see you tomorrow.